Right now, Harry Wilson may be the most clutch player in English football. He scored a whopping 8 goals from just 3.96 XG. It's the most he's ever grabbed in a Premier League campaign, yet it's come when he's moved a little bit further away from goal. So how has Harry Wilson become such a goal-scoring machine? Now, I don't want to sit here and accuse a Premier League footballer of being a little bit one-footed, but with Harry Wilson, I am going to. He's had 50 shots so far in the Premier League this season. 45 of those have come with his left, 4 with his right and 1 with his head. There is also certainly a bias with where the ball goes as well. Almost every single time Wilson is looking to bend that ball towards the far corner. So the question is, if I can tell you that, Premier League defenders will know that. So how is Harry Wilson still managing to find the space, take a good touch and get a good connection on the ball so regularly? Now for Wilson, it is all about 3 main things. It's about working half a yard of space, planting your foot before you shoot, before being able to shoot with any part of the foot. I would argue Harry Wilson has almost accomplished ball mastery with his left foot, and that is seriously impressive. But as I said, the first step is actually to find yourself in a little bit of space. You're not going to score goals if defenders are on top of you, and I think something that Wilson has done brilliantly this season is worked off the ball whilst his team are in possession. So let's say someone like Iwobi or Sander Berge has the ball in midfield. Harry Wilson is always on the move this season. His heat map has him in quite a wide zone, but he's always allowed to come back inside towards the goal, which of course his left foot sort of naturally takes him into those positions. But what I've really enjoyed from Wilson this season is his desire. He's a player who wants to score goals, and that's the only way you can score goals, by being willing to get into those positions. So even when the ball is on the far side with Kevin or one of the other left wingers at the club, Wilson is engaged. He is active in the play. He is always looking to steal in, and he loves that little zone just behind the opposition's left-sided centre-back. And the reason why he loves that zone so much is because he knows if he can see, if we just get his little vision here, if he can see the back of that defender, well then that defender can't see him, which means basically advantage Wilson. Now just to prove that I somewhat know what I'm talking about and I'm not losing my mind, we're going to take a look at some examples. This was Fulham against Burnley roughly halfway through December. Actually a really entertaining game. Wilson got 2 assists in this game as well, but we're going to focus on his goal. Here is the fast break, and first things first, you can see Wilson sort of busting a gut to get forward to support the attack, and there's an intelligence with everything that he does in this move. Now let's look at that number 5 for Burnley, the centre back in the middle. Me and you as football fans, as people who watch a lot of football, we know that defender's job. He has got to get himself back towards his 6-yard box, back towards the penalty spot so that he can defend the centre of the box. So what Wilson does is he just stays away from him. He knows the defender's going to go towards the penalty spot, so Wilson just holds his position a little bit wider on the right-hand side. Some players may be desperate to get themselves into that region there, but that's actually where the defender is going to go anyway. Instead, Wilson just holds off a little bit further towards the back, signals to the player where he wants the ball. And I always think this is important in football. Communication without using your mouth, because it's quite a loud environment. So if you can use your arms, if you can use your hands to signal where you want the ball, that's always going to help. By the time the ball comes over though, Harry Wilson has got this separation away from the Burnley defender. All he needs is one good first touch, and he's really helped here because he always takes little steps, lots of little steps in the box, so he's never too stretched, his legs are never too far apart, he's able to quickly readjust himself. So when this ball comes slightly behind him, he's able to readjust, he takes a really good first touch and bends the ball beautifully into the far corner. And just notice where his right foot is here, really close to the ball. Another situation here of Harry Wilson being intelligent, using his movement to get away from the opposition despite not actually being the quickest player in the world. Now on this occasion, Wilson is on the left side of the attack. Fulham play the ball into the striker and the ball is played around the corner, and Wilson is off running in behind towards goal. Or at least that's what normal players would do. Normal players would quickly go towards this ball, get it under control with the right foot and attack the opposition box. But Wilson doesn't do that because he knows if he does that, he's going to come into the traffic of the 2 Liverpool centre-backs. So what Wilson actually does is very, very intelligent. He steps over the ball. He lets the ball roll through his legs. And there's a reason he does that, because it gets the ball towards his left-hand side, which first of all means he's now on his stronger foot, which he absolutely loves to shoot with, but also it means he's allowed the ball to roll away from the Liverpool defender. So the Liverpool defender, I think this is Gravenberch here, now can't apply pressure, now can't put a tackle in because Wilson's body is in the way. So it's very intelligent work setting up the situation before then again striking with the left boot. Okay, another example, Harry Wilson on the right side now, back where he belongs really, and again you can see what he's trying to do. He is communicating with his teammate, that right arm is stretched out, Iwobi, that's where I would like the ball, please and thank you. And the reason why he wants the ball there is because he knows that centre-back does not have a clue that he's there, because the centre-back is looking at the ball. Wilson can see the centre-back's number. If I'm Wilson and I can see the centre-back's number, the centre-back cannot see me, and that's when I can steal in behind people. That's when I can make this movement in behind and get myself a little bit of space, and always in the box. His feet are close together. He's not sprinting at full tilt. He's very clever with the way that he moves in the box, meaning that at any moment, if he needs to, he can change direction. He can shift his balance without falling over. And that's what's required here. The ball is a little bit behind him, but because his footwork is so good, he just swipes this ball in, left-footed, one motion into the far corner, and it is an absolutely beautiful finish. But he's only able to do it because of his setup work before the goal. And then one last clip to look at here. Harry Wilson in the middle of the box against Crystal Palace. Far more central than what we've seen him for large parts of this season, but still intelligent and still the same basics. Finding space, attacking space, having a good first touch, and ball mastery. Now this one is fantastic. First of all, Harry Wilson has a little look. He has a little bit of a scan and he looks for where the space is, and we can all see where it is. It's between those two Crystal Palace centre-backs. If we just mark it over here, it's between these two centre-backs here. We can all see that quite clearly. Harry Wilson can see it. So he makes the move. He makes the move towards the ball, and this is ball mastery. This is why he can be one-footed and get away with it, because that one foot can do pretty much everything. This is a little clipped ball around the corner outside of the left boot. It is absolutely beautiful. And then he turns and runs into the space that we were talking about earlier. He identified this space just a couple of seconds earlier. When he was looking, he saw the space and now ends up in that exact spot. And you can be one-footed when the outside of that boot can do that with a first-time finish. It's an absolute joke. So I think it's very clear for Wilson that a lot of the work that he does before scoring the goal is actually in the setup phase, way before he even gets the ball. There's a lot of work to make sure that he is out of the eye line of the defender. So if the ball's on the far side, he doesn't want to be seen. He wants to have that ability to sort of steal and sneak into the box, but at all times he's keeping that footwork really close, really tight, so at any moment he can quickly change his balance. It helps that he's quite short, quite diminutive, very agile as a player, and he can turn in ways that the centre-backs can't. But I think the other really important thing is the way that he sets himself before he shoots. You will notice in pretty much every clip that we have looked at so far, the right boot is planted right close to the ball, which means as he powers through with the left, he's on full balance. He's not stretching for the ball. He always sets himself almost perfectly, really, and it allows him to get that power on the ball. I want you to quickly take a look at this free kick that he scored the other day. It's absolutely fantastic. It's an unbelievable goal. But if we just pause it as he shoots, look how close his right boot is to the ball. If we now look at this shot from open play, you can see something similar. This is someone who has identified a technique that they like, a player that's found a way that he likes to shoot and is able to do it on set pieces and in open play. To me, that points at a player having an incredible preparation phase before shooting. To be able to replicate that same technique twice in open play and on a set piece, I think really points to the level of detail that Harry Wilson is putting into his game. Yes, he is massively overperforming his XG, and at some point it probably will stop. But I tell you what, this is not luck. This is a player putting in the work before he even gets the ball, then having a really good first touch, having his routine on the ball, and currently being just the most lethal finisher. So yes, that is Harry Wilson right now, one of the most exciting players in the Premier League, and every time you get your notifications on your phone, it's Harry Wilson scoring a goal for Fulham. Whether that's winners or equalisers or helping them to progress through the cup, Harry Wilson is contributing to this Fulham team massively, and he's been a very important player this season. But like I said, this isn't luck. Yes, he is overperforming. Yes, he is scoring absolute worldies. But so much of it is the work that he is doing. It's the little details in his game giving him that advantage. You might think that his left foot is predictable, and maybe it is, but it's somewhat unstoppable because of the work that he does. The defenders don't even know that he's there before he is struck, and that's what is making him such a fantastic player. And for Fulham, I guess that needs to continue, right? They need to hope that Wilson can keep producing that form. But do you think he can? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Is it a little bit worrying when a player overperforms their XG so much, or are his habits so good that he is just an amazing finisher? Let me know what you think in the comments. But apart from that, we are now finished for today's video. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this one, and as always, I will see you next week for another video.